Hi YouTube, this is Darkon633, back with another Star Wars review. Today we're going to take a look at the Star Wars 6-inch Black Series First Order Finn. Now this is actually a really cool design, since it seems that Finn will be actually going undercover into the ranks of the First Order in order to probably get some intel or something of that similar nature, since as of right now we don't know much about exactly why he's in this particular disguise, but it's pretty easy to infer from. One thing to note is that the overall sculpt is pretty good in my opinion, although it's not a whole lot different than what we've seen with First Order officers we've gotten already, both with Hux and the standard First Order officer, but it's still a pretty good figure in my opinion. Anyways, we're going to take a look at the box. The box is the standard 6-inch Black Series scale. Has a picture of Finn there. He is number 51 of the releases, finishing off the second wave of releases, and here is a bio as normal. So now we're going to take a look at Finn more closely. Before anything else, here is a comparison with Finn between General Hux and the standard 6-inch First Order officer. Now he's definitely a lot more close to the First Order officer, since it's pretty obvious that they took the design from that and just reused it for Finn. But it's still nice to see a new version of Finn, since it was kind of really boring seeing the standard brownish outfit that he's been wearing all this time. Now, as a final comparison, here is Finn next to his Stormtrooper outfit look of the character. And here is Finn in his standard attire as well. So the head sculpt is actually a different head sculpt between the two. While these were pretty close to each other with very minor paint differences, the overall sculpt of the head is quite different this time around. One thing to note is that unfortunately my suffers from some paint problems, but since it was the only one at the store at the time, this was pretty much my only option. But other than that, it's definitely not the worst what we've seen in general. So now I'm going to take the other two figures and look at the figure more closely. Those who have the First Order officer, you're not going to get a whole lot of difference, at least in the overall sculpt, since it's pretty much exactly the same outside of the weapons. So now we're going to take that over to the side and look at the articulation. The head is still on the standard ball joint with no hindrance. He does have the same ball hinged shoulders, same ball hinged elbows, same joints of the wrists, same really good waist articulation, same hip joints, same swivels at the thighs, double joints at the knees, and fully jointed ankles. The main difference, obviously, is within the weapon that he includes. He does include the standard blaster, as seen with the First Order officer, and it does fit in nicely in his hand with no issues, but mainly the whole point of this figure, in my opinion, is to replicate what happened in the trailer for the film. Obviously, it's unknown how big of an impact that scene's going to be in the film, but it does look really nice, and I think it's really epic what they did there. Similar to the First Order officer, the hat is removable. We're just going to take that off to the side and take a closer look at the John Boyega sculpt. It's definitely still not 100% spot on, but it's a lot closer than what we've seen in the past, in my opinion. The real cool part about this is that this is the first release of the new Baton. Now, something to note, we're going to actually show a comparison here. Here is the first version of the Baton that was included with the First Order Riot Trooper. So we're just going to quickly take a look at the weapon. And unfortunately, this one was really lame. I thought I was going to really like this figure when it first was announced and revealed, but once I actually got it in my hands, this is the part that absolutely disappointed me, since it just could not do what it did in the film. This one, though, while the sculpt is very similar, can actually do the thing that that one could not do. While it doesn't have any of the lightning effects, it does have articulated ends here, so now you got it fully open and weaponized. You can actually allow him to hold on to it, and in my opinion, because of the way that the handle's designed, although it's hard to tell without actually having it in person, the actual handle, in my opinion, was made much better on this release, so that you can actually allow him to hold on to it properly without it actually flying out. So that's really nice that you can actually do that. So that pretty much covers my review of the new version of Finn in his First Order disguise. And I think he turned out really awesome. I highly recommend picking this up, even if you got the older fin, since the overall design of this fin, in my opinion, is a lot better than what we've seen in the past. But it's definitely understandable if you decide to actually skip this release. Anyways, I actually ended up getting this at my local Target, since my area has finally stocked the second wave of the 6-inch flag series for Star Wars Episode VIII: The Last Jedi. So it's definitely going out there, so your best bet is to probably just check your local stores or online. Anyways, please comment and subscribe and check out Hero Club and Hirotaku. Also check out Returner Darkon 633, and don't forget to check down the other channels down below. Please check the little bell at the bottom of the screen in order to see my content go up as soon as possible. And back with more Star Wars reviews, but for now, I'll be seeing you later, YouTube. Bye.